Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another lovely, lovely episode of And Rollin'. I'm Matthew.
I'm Maddie.
Crazy. Maddie, what did we see today?
We saw hoppers,
Hop, 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 hop. Yep.
which is confusing because it's about beavers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not what I was expecting.
Yeah, it's like the program is called Hoppers, and so they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
and
Yeah. Do you want to tell us what this movie's about, Maddie?
I will try.
Do you want me to do it?
I mean, you can. This movie just had a lot of moving parts, and we only saw it once. So
I'll do it. Okay.
Oh.
So, basically,
You sounded like the little girl feeding the cat.
guys, there's this little girl on TikTok. You can probably...
Kitty!
Yeah, that's literally how she says. She's like,
Does it taste good, yummy?
Isn't it yummy and you're chubby? That's how she talks.
It's so
And she's like being
insane.
genuine. And
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh, man.
That's her cute animal voice.
Yes.
It's so funny.
Anyways, so Hoppers is about this girl. What's her name? Is it Mabel?
Yeah, that sounds right. I'm looking it up.
Okay, so there's this girl, and she's really into animals.
Yeah, Mabel.
Mabel, I see. You didn't even need to look it up. I knew it. There's this girl named Mabel. She's really into animals, and she tries to save her class pets. She gets into trouble, and her grandma brings her to a little glen, and she's like, isn't this the most amazing glen? And if you're really quiet, the animals will show up. And all the animals show up, and she's like, oh my God, I love it.
Because she gets into trouble at school.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
You just said you weren't specific enough.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'll be more specific going forward. So it flashes forward several years, and Grandma's dead. And Mabel's the only one left in the family out where she lives in Beavertown. Beaverton. And so she goes to the glen, and there's a bunch of construction people there, and they're going to blow up a beaver dam. And she's like, stop, you can't blow up the beaver dam. And she's like trying to stop them, and this guy shows up, and he's like, I got this, guys. And they just start yelling at each other, and it turns out to be the mayor, whose name is Jerry. And Jerry really wants to build a highway around Beaverton so that people can get to work 12 minutes faster.
And Jerry and Mabel have a long-standing feud.
Yes. Yeah, they do not get along. Even though Jerry seems to be a very well-liked politician. But Jerry's basically like, go get a petition and then we can talk about it. And you have 48 hours before we blow this thing up. She's like, oh man, okay. And so she tries to talk to her professor. Her professor is like, there's nothing we can do. She tries to get the petition. She talks to a bunch of people and then doesn't get anywhere. And then she talks to her professor and she's like, we got to do something. And she's like, well, beavers are keystone species. And if there's beavers, there's going to be other animals because the beavers are so important. And she's like, oh my God, that's what we need to do. We need to get the beavers back. And so she tries to get beavers back to the glen, and she can't do it. And so, because basically Jerry's like, oh, if there's animals, then I don't have the right to build here because it's approved by the state. And so, Mabel finally sees a beaver, and she's like, oh my God, that's it. And she follows the beaver back, and the beaver starts acting really funny. It goes back into the university.
It's giving Perry the platypus.
Perry the platypus. Yeah, he puts on the hat. Perry the platypus.
A platypus. Perry the platypus.
And she gets back, and then she finds out that it's actually a robot beaver that her professor controls through a mind control device thing.
Her professor Hops.
Yes.
And that's where you get the name of the movie.
Yes.
Even though it's about beavers.
Yeah.
And not bunnies.
Yes. And so basically, Mabel tricks her way and hops herself into the beaver robot, and you have to be placed on this platform in order to unhop, basically. And so she escapes from everyone. She's very agile. She escapes from everyone and then goes to the Glen to try and find people. And then she finds another beaver, and she's like, "Oh my God, beaver, we need to do something." And then the beaver almost gets eaten by a bear. She's like, "Oh my God, you can't kill him." And he's like, "What are you doing?" And it's like, "This is the pond rules." And she's like, "Pond rules?" And then they take her to the king. And
voiced by Bobby Moynihan.
yeah, voiced by Bobby Moynihan.
I haven't seen him do anything since SNL back in the day. Crazy pull.
He said, "Yeah, I'll do this."
He said, "I'll be King George."
Yeah. And yeah, his name is George.
King George.
Basically, King George is a really nice guy. Like, he's all about that. And
he's not just king of the beavers. He's king of the mammals.
Which we find out later. Yeah. But he's a big deal. And he's basically like, we got all these pond rules. We get to know everyone. And everyone's really equal. They're awesome. She's like, "Guys, we got to get people back." And they're like, "Oh, but there's this annoying sound." And it sounds like, "Whoa."
Yeah, they've made like a giant beaver dam.
Yeah.
And den.
Yeah, there's a giant beaver dam because everyone keeps moving in to this
They have
one
an
pond.
immigration issue because
basically Jerry put up this loudspeaker that only the animals can hear. And Mabel can't hear it, so she tears it down, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is awesome." And so they all move back to the Glen. And then...
But at the same time, there's another mechanical animal.
Well, yeah, there's another mechanical animal, the bird.
The bird.
Yeah, who's trying to...
bring Mabel back.
Yeah, bring Mabel back and everything. But basically, Jerry finds this out, and all the animals are back, and he's like, "This isn't good." And so they put up like...
4.
Yeah, a whole bunch of the loud noises.
Also, the commitment to the bit with Jerry is strong. They didn't just put up a loudspeaker. They made fake trees that are like tree height.
You know that's a thing in real life?
I didn't know that was a thing.
You can look up like camouflaged cell towers where people are like, "I don't want a cell tower in my area," but then they make it look like a tree.
That's crazy. I mean, like, what was his budget for camouflaged loudspeakers?
I don't know, but
it was high.
Yeah, it's a thing. And like,
those have to be expensive. That's what I'm getting at, really.
Yeah,
that, like,
no, I agree.
I want to see the city budget.
Yeah. And but basically Jerry's like, "Well, we'll put up 4." And Mabel's like, "This is ridiculous, and it's all Jerry's fault." And George is like, "Well, there's nothing we can do. We're just going to have to... Jerry's fault." Yeah. And he's like, "We're just going to have to make do. Like, this is just the way it is." And Mabel's like, "No, call in the council." And he's like, "I don't know. The councils are a bunch of rough guys." Oh, and he proposes to her as well so that she can become his paw.
But yeah, not like a marriage proposal.
No, but
it's like,
that's how it's set up.
Will you be my heir?
Yeah, that's what it is. But it's set up as like a marriage proposal in the movie at first. And she's like, "Oh my God." And then it's like, "Will you be my paw?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't know." But so then basically they call in the council, and there's like the reptiles, the birds, the insects, and are those all of them? Oh, the fish.
Yeah.
And so they have like all the big categories, and they're like, "Guys, we need to stop this." And it's like, this is a mammal problem. Like, humans are mammals. Like, get your shit together.
In order. Yeah.
Yeah. And the frog, the amphibian, and the amphibians too. The frog's like, "This is great. Short meeting. Let's get out of here." And Mabel's like, "Hold on, guys. We can't do this. This is all Jerry's fault and all this stuff." And they're like, "Oh my God, this human sounds awful." And she's like, and they're like, "We need to squish them." The monarch butterfly queen, she's like, "We need to squish them. We need to get rid of them and everything." And Mabel's like, "No, don't do that. Don't do that." And then she tries to grab the queen and smashes the queen and kills her. And her caterpillar son is like, "Oh my God."
Voiced by Dave Franco.
That's Dave Franco?
I was like, I know this voice.
That's crazy.
And I'm like listening to him, and he has the most unhinged little lines.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is Dave Franco.
That's crazy. But basically she smushes him, and then they're all like, "Oh my God, we need to squish Jerry. Like, we have to squish Jerry and stop this." And so, which is just, they're going to kill him. And so they basically, George and Mabel are sent into exile with a couple other mammal friends, and they kidnap Jerry. Jerry almost gets eaten by a shark, and eventually what happens is they go back to, so the like the professors and everything, they're like, Mabel, blah blah blah, and then they get Mabel, and they finally put her, like, get her into like, they unhop her, and then George is like, what? She's my paw. And George is like really confused. And they do this thing with the animation where if you're seeing things from the animal's perspective, they have like human googly eyes, but then the animals, when you're looking at them from the human perspective, they have like beady eyes and they don't speak English. And so George is like, meh, 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 and he's freaking out. It's so cute. Yeah. And little George is like, what's going on?
I know, he's so sweet.
And but basically Mabel gets knocked out. She wakes up and they're like, they know about the hoppers, and the monarch butterfly, after there's a scene where he's like, first I must pupate, and he like turns into like his cocoon, and everyone's like, that was gross.
Yeah. And let me just say, it was.
And but he becomes full butterfly. He basically hops into a robot Jerry, and he like tries to convince, he gets all the humans into one area, and he's like, we're gonna squish all of you, you're dead. But then Mabel like knocks down the trees, it starts a forest fire. Like George and the other animal kings and queens are like, oh my god, like the monarch butterfly's evil. And so there's a huge fire that happens. They go back to the big beaver dam, and George is like, we gotta, destroy the dam. But they're not talking to each other because Mabel's a human now. And so they start tearing up the dam, and then all of the other animals come together.
Including the flying
shark, whose name is Doris, I think.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, George is like, oh, I know her. She's really nice. Like, he's
when she was trying to kill
Yeah, when she's trying to kill Jerry, yeah. And she's like, you might feel a slight pinching sensation.
And then nothing.
Yeah. And basically, they stop the fire. Jerry's like, okay, maybe the animals aren't that bad. And they save the Glen.
Diane. Her name's Diane.
Diane.
Yeah, they save the Glen, and they negotiate that the highway will go another place.
Yeah. And basically, Mabel and George are still friends, and they hang out, and George communicates via telephone, which he just constantly hits beaver, beaver, log, 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 beaver, beaver, heart, beaver.
Lizard.
That's what this is. That's that joke. So that's where this is from. So. And
then also they she becomes, like, she gets a job. She graduates college, which she wasn't really on track to.
Yeah.
And she goes and works for her professor.
Yeah, after the Hoppers program is shut down. For temporarily, I have a strong hunch that there's going to be a Hoppers too.
Yeah.
So, there you go. That's the movie. But anyways, what did you think about this movie, Maddie? What are your thoughts?
I knew that it was getting really good reviews, and so it's Pixar, high expectations. I thought it was okay.
I thought it was a little better than okay, in my opinion.
Yeah.
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 Go
ahead.
Well. So I thought it was funny. I don't think you found it as funny as I did, and you definitely didn't find it as funny as the girl next to us.
Oh my God, that girl next to us, she came in by herself. This was like a 10 p.m. showing. She was dressed in like business casual, and she sat down like directly next to me, and she laughed at everything and was like charmed, in a childlike delight, dare I say, at everything in this movie. And I mean, like, Pixar can be very funny. Pixar's not that funny if you are over 15.
Yeah, that's very true. And so there was like some grandparents next to me, and I think every single point in the movie they had to be like, I think this is what's happening. I think this is what's happening. And they were like whispering to each other. And then there were some heathens up at the top row. And they just like were talking. I'm like, what is it about children's animated movies where people just can't shut up and watch the movie? I didn't say a peep this whole film.
It's every movie.
I don't know, but it's
I don't
especially bad with animated movies. I like dread going to the movie theater when it's animated. You know?
I will agree with you there, but it is bad for every movie. And
Yeah.
I do think that AMC needs to be more on it
Yes.
about like getting people to shut up.
Oh,
Like
please.
people, it used to be that people would come and check on the movie halfway through and like the theater, and they don't do that anymore.
No.
And I wish they would. We need a little bit of a panopticon.
We need a little bit more theater. Alamo Draft House up in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't believe they're moving their menu now to be a QR code, so that's totally going against the whole. Anyway,
I know.
Crazy shit.
I know. It's fine.
Anyway, I thought that this movie suffered from some pacing problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff in the beginning, and it didn't like. So Pixar, right, known for masterclass of opening short intro that packs a heavy emotional punch, like Up, Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
You know, I did not get that from this. I did not. I didn't really care about the characters based on like the opening. I was like, okay, we've seen this a million times. Like, oddball granddaughter, guru grandmother who's about to die. Like Moana. I mean, like, classic. The Dead Grandmas Club at Pixar and Disney is insane.
This movie lacked a little bit of the emotional personal emotional connection that I feel like Pixar movies really
it felt kind of generic for a Pixar movie. And like I think that overall, because like Pixar, right, the toys coming to life, that was so interesting. The ants in Bug's Life, the rat in Ratatouille, like they come from like a different perspective, and they're known for kind of having these like quirky, interesting like Monsters Inc., The Incredibles, like they're just
Elemental,
they're just different and fun. This movie, I was like, I'm not blown away by the concept. It feels like, in some ways, standard. Like, okay, animals, we get it. A little bit of like over the hedge.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually kind of fair. Yeah, I feel like it's a little over the hedgy vibe.
And so I just was like, this concept is not enough to make me like buy into this. Like the story, like I have no problem with like the point of the story, but I just felt like it was done in a very generic way.
I also feel like Jerry's character takes a real 180 real quick.
Jerry's character, compared to like some of the other villains, quote unquote villains, Jerry's character is so boring. Yeah,
he's not very interesting. He's very one note, and then he basically, it's really weird because like he's like, well, I understand we have to save everything, but then I'm going to go to building my highway right after this. And then like he suddenly has like a random change of heart. As far as I'm concerned, incredibly randomly. Like,
well, and this is just where I just kind of like, I don't think this movie was a standout.
Yeah.
I think it was like what you expect of just a kids movie, but we know that Pixar has this legacy of being so much more than that.
Yeah, I've heard people say like this is Pixar's funniest movie, and I generally agree.
On what planet? Incredibles is way funnier than this movie.
I think that this movie has more jokes.
I don't think that makes it funnier.
Okay, fair enough. You got me there. I think that this movie has a lot of laughs, and they're pretty consistent throughout. And it's not like this is the thing that I don't get is like the people sitting next to you were like, I was laughing my ass off the whole time, gut belly laughing. It's not that funny.
It's like a huh.
Yes, and I think that that's actually a detriment to the story because then it lacks a lot of stakes, in my opinion. Where I am like, oh, okay. You know.
Yeah, it felt just shallow, like when you compare it to Up, which also had a lot of jokes in it.
Yeah.
But there was just not this emotional depth to it, and I think it lacked. Like well, maybe lack is the wrong word. I think it relied on these like tried tropes of like the dead grandma giving her purpose and like the jacket carrying meaning. Like it was just very tropey. in a way that even though I've never seen that movie before, I felt like I'd seen it a million times.
Is Coco Pixar?
No.
It's not?
Oh, no, actually it is. It is.
I was like, I think it is. Yeah, and there's dead grandma there too. A lot of dead grandmas.
I thought Coco was Disney.
I'm looking it up. It's Pixar. It's a Pixar film.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a Pixar film. Coco's Pixar.
Okay, well, and in that way, it's like that movie had so much emotional depth.
Yeah.
And do you know what? It built up the grandma so that when she died, it was meaningful.
It's a big deal. I know.
And like Ellie in Up dies very early. She's dead at the beginning, but you have this like heartbreak that makes it mean something. And then the whole point of like him living for her.
Yeah.
And going to Victoria Falls or whatever.
Yeah.
This movie just did not establish any kind of like emotional grounding.
Yeah, and like I feel like from like you're saying, like the message of the movie is good. I like what they're saying. Like, care about wildlife. And actually, like, what they're saying about beavers is totally true.
Well, I knew you were going to be big on the beavers.
Yeah, I'm really big on the beavers. Like, everything they were saying about the beavers is really cool. Honestly, probably the most important thing, if you're in North America or Europe, because those are the only continents that have beavers, if you're in North America or Europe, you want to save the planet, save a beaver.
Matt's like low-key a beaver expert.
I'm not a beaver expert, but I am into beavers. So
we'll be walking and he'll be like, "Oh, a beaver was here."
Yeah, there's one right in the pond next to us.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you're like the beaver whisperer.
You can see them chew on the trees.
Yeah, but I'm not looking for it. That's what I'm saying. Like you and Mabel are like one and the same.
It's just that, so like the reason for that is like wetland restoration is incredibly important for biodiversity, and also it cools the planet and traps in heat. Like it actually is incredibly important for fighting climate change. Like wetland restoration is one of the most important things that you can do that benefits everyone in the world. So fun fact.
Save your wetlands.
Yeah, save your wetland. Like literally like the best way that if you don't have any wetlands, you can put a beaver there and there'll be some. Put a beaver next to some water, no problem, bro. Problem solved. And like beavers will solve a lot of issues like automatically and you know.
Well, and what else seemed true to life about this movie is like the government fighting beavers.
Yeah.
Municipal governments hate beavers.
Well, and like for example, so like so we live on the Fox River, fun fact, in Illinois, and they're thinking about tearing down some of the dams and like the human-made dams. And they should, because then beavers can come, build their dams, build out the wetlands, and it helps everyone actually. And just let wildlife do the control. You know, humans don't need to control it because humans are actually really bad at controlling the environment, believe it or not. So there you go.
Not like there's a ton of evidence proving that point.
So, I mean, that's my take on beavers. Go save a beaver. Go put a beaver in your backyard, you know? Do whatever you want to do. Look up your state laws about beavers because they can be a little sketch. So, just FYI. So,
but yeah, I mean, like, that was probably the most interesting part of the whole movie, was using a beaver as the vehicle for the environment.
Mm-hmm.
But just overall, like, the animation, it wasn't anything that wowed me.
No, I felt like it was very standard.
And, like, I just feel like on the heels of Wild Robot, this movie just didn't pack a punch in the way that Wild Robot, like, hit me twice.
Yeah. I feel like this movie had a more direct environmental message as far as I'm concerned, but Wild Robot made you feel something, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wild Robot, whoa. That's a good movie. I wish we had done a podcast on that movie.
We can do a rewind. That was an option on one of my planes. I thought about watching it again.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. It's so good.
It is, but I just didn't feel like feeling things on that flight. I was like, I'm worn out. I need like the adult woman Coco Melon of Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah. No, I understand that. The yeah, I just feel like this movie didn't blow me away, but it's still like good. That's
like,
a weird
it's
thing.
It's not bad. It's just my expectations for Pixar are standout, and this to me was just like okay.
I wish I would have seen Elio in theaters. I should watch it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, oh, underrated, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm curious because that didn't really strike my fancy.
Yeah, and people were talking about how like this is the issue that Pixar runs into is Elio didn't perform well. Like people are saying like, well, maybe Elio didn't perform well. Number one, because it was just getting dogged on like by parents online or like people who influence parents online, you know? Mm-hmm. And then for like no real reason, because from my understanding, it wasn't an awful movie. Like it was okay. So, it was getting dogged on. And then people were like, the aliens weren't cute, but animals are cute and kids like animals, you know? And so it's like easy transition for children and they see it on TV and they go, oh, that's cool. I want to see that, which is interesting to me. I don't know. I don't know how true that is because it's not like people are pulling children at the end of this.
I felt like from the trailer, right? We haven't seen Elio, but that trailer and Hoppers, these stories just feel a little generic. Like they're dealing with things that have been dealt with before. So like the topic of aliens, the topic of the environment, and they're not finding an in or like a perspective that feels unique or fresh.
Well, I feel like this is because like so Pixar, they had a big thing where they like the people who were heading their movies, they were like, you're going to tell your own like personal story, whatever you want to do.
Right.
And now it seems like they're more like, let's not do that anymore. And let's get more into the generic again.
Which is a shame because like Elemental is a good recent Pixar movie.
Yeah.
And that was deeply personal to that director. And that movie was a sleeper like success.
Yeah.
And is,
talk about word of mouth.
And very favorable. And we saw, I was like, we couldn't have done an episode on that, but we saw that movie. We saw it in theaters.
We own it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I do like that movie. I like the soundtrack especially to that movie. And like,
same guy's Finding Nemo.
Yeah, and I maybe I'm not so crazy about the story, but the animation's so striking.
Yeah.
The story's like okay.
Of Elemental?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it does tell it in a more personal way, and you are like,
it is very personal, and that's the part that really gets you.
Yeah.
The love story part, that's not so much what gets you, but the framing of like cultural differences and allegiances, that's what's really pulling at your heartstrings.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just and Coco is clearly a very personal story.
Coco, Soul was a personal movie, I heard.
Oh yeah, Soul. I did. Yeah. I watched Soul.
I've never seen Soul. I've heard some people really like it. I had a crazy
experience with Soul.
You can tell that story if you want. We don't have to, but
we were watching Bluey, like because we have a red healer, and so we had started watching Bluey.
Which great TV show, well, honestly.
And we watched it just to like see it because we'd been seeing red healer stuff everywhere. And Blue healer
and I was
stuff.
just like, oh, this will be cool.
We have to watch it to see what like so we know what people because people were coming up to us and being like, oh, you have like a Bluey dog, and we were like, oh yeah, and it was so emotionally like healing in some ways because that show is remarkable and it really spoke to some of the things that like I don't know I don't know how to phrase it exactly, but like I saw my younger self in ways that like I had not acknowledged places that I had felt like an outsider as a kid or just like different from people or like needs, you know, for whatever reason maybe weren't met all of the way. And Bluey does a great job of like kind of allowing me to process those things as an adult, but looking back on my younger self. And I was telling my therapist this, and she was like, you should watch Soul.
Yeah.
And I did. And to this day have no idea what she wanted me to glean from that.
Well, I think, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because he like tries to, from my understanding, he tries to like process his dreams or something through trying to save
but, like,
people.
What we were talking about was like a very specific like family childhood kind of like,
Yeah.
not trauma, but just sort of like, oh, I like these problems that started in childhood are like cropping up in adulthood, and I'm struggling to like manage them. And Bluey, because it's a show about a family, deals with some of that. And Soul was like very much about this guy and his dreams of being a musician. And I just was like, I have no idea why Anna told me that. And so the next week she was like, did you watch the movie? What did you think? And I was like, yeah. Moving on. And it was just so funny. And she and I had been working together for like years and years at this point. And there were just a couple of times she would recommend stuff that was like a real miss. And that was one of them. One of like two big ones that I can think of. And so it's just funny. Yeah. So I have seen Soul, and
there you go. I need to watch it at some point.
Yeah.
You know, I've been thinking about this. You know what's interesting? I mean, okay, here, let's do this really quick because I think it'll help with the conversation. What would you rate this movie?
5.
A 5, really?
5 or 6.
I was thinking like a 7. See, I liked it more than you.
You did like it more than me.
Yeah.
I just thought
because
it was...
I like beavers.
Yeah, and I hate beavers.
Yeah.
I think they're nasty little creatures.
See, and that's the problem with America these days.
With buck teeth.
Yeah, that's the problem with America these days, is people think that beavers are rodents and pests.
I actually don't think beavers are pests.
No, I know you don't.
I just thought this movie was like uninspired.
Also, did you know that? So this is a fun thing. You were like, that's a huge beaver dam. Did you know that the largest dam to ever exist in the world is a beaver dam?
No.
It's up in Canada. It's still there. It's hundreds of years old.
Wow.
It's been built up over generations, and it's like miles long. It's crazy.
A damn sight to see.
Yeah, look it up. It's huge, and there's people. They're like, there's trees in here that have like fossilized. Like, it's wild.
How is that bigger than like the Hoover Dam?
Because it stretches for so long. Like the mass. If you're looking at tonnage, it's not like the canyon filling.
Yeah, I was like,
but
how are we beating that one out? Well, that's interesting. That's cool. No, I
just
mean,
so you know.
Yeah, I just definitely expect a lot from these filmmakers.
Yeah, I think that you kind of like your expectations weren't met, sort of a thing. And I went in there with lower expectations.
That's fair.
Yeah. Like when I started to see, you know, those two guys who have that quote unquote movie podcast where they're like, oh, guys, like Marvel is the best. You know who I'm talking about? And one guy always wearing a hat and the other guy's always wearing that Spider-Man jacket.
No, I'm not their demographic.
Well,
just off of how you've talked about them, I know I'm not their demographic.
Well, they're there and they're like, this was the best movie ever. And whenever they say anything, I'm always like, okay, got it. Because they'll be like, Spider-Man No Way Home is the best movie that ever existed. I'm like, guys, calm yourself.
I guess someone has to think that.
So
here's where I'm landing.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to watch it again.
No.
I would maybe be a little frustrated if this became like my kid's comfort movie and we had to watch it over and over and over again.
Oh no.
There's just better ones out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
what was your comfort movie growing up?
I was just going to ask you. I was like, well, here's a good like organic
this is
here,
good.
Maddie.
This is good. Yeah.
I had a couple, but the one that immediately comes to mind is The Swan Princess. But also, I had a VHS tape that had both Mulan and Lion King on it, and that got a lot of play.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
But I watched a lot of movies over and over again, like Prince of Egypt, Anastasia, the three I've already mentioned. Oh, Annabelle, the Christmas Cow movie, Balto.
Yeah.
Watched those quite a bit.
I was really into Peter Pan for a while.
Which one?
Animated.
Oh, okay. Haley was really into the live action, so we watched that quite a bit.
I was really excited for the live action, which got me into the animated one, and then I didn't like the live action one.
That's crazy. I loved the live action. I do believe in fairies.
See, I don't even remember that. So
that's okay. That's for like all of the listeners who will have my back and they will know what I'm talking about.
Fine. This is another. Oh, I was really into Atlantis.
Oh shit! Of course.
But you know what? You know what I liked about the Atlantis VHS that I had is the flappy part of the VHS tape.
Yeah.
Where it like flaps. It was blue.
Yes.
And I was like, whoa!
I loved when they would do that.
Oh, so cool! Like the Nickelodeon ones were orange.
Yeah, they were orange.
Oh,
yeah.
So
yeah,
cool. But another movie. When my mom had to pick us up from work. Or pick us up from work. God. My mom.
I'm off at 5 today.
When she had to pick us up from school and we had to go to my mom's work, we had to stay in the break room, which was a CVS. Like, imagine a CVS break room. There
Done.
You go. That's it. It's dreary. It's boring. It's white and bland. And they had a TV. You could get NBC live on it, which was great during the Olympics. Otherwise, you were stuck with a VHS tape of Sleeping Beauty.
That's a good one.
And
did it have the special features at the end where Walt came on and was like, "Hello, boys and girls"?
No, it was Sleeping Beauty, like the 25th anniversary edition or something.
Dang. Mine had the whole behind the scenes thing where you're like watching Irvin whatever do the sketches of the trees and.
No, I have seen Sleeping Beauty enough in my life to where that's my, if our child's in the Sleeping Beauty, whoa.
That's your struggle.
That's gonna be rough for me. Cause
Bug's Life. I watched a Bug's Life.
Oh, Bug's Life was really good.
So much.
Yeah, Bug's Life really good. But yeah, I've seen, if I hear "Here Comes the Princess Aurora" one more time, I'm gonna. I totally just hit this. That's gonna be so awful for our listeners. I apologize, everyone. But if I hear that one more time, I'll blow out my brains. Hail to the Queen. Hail to the Princess Aurora. I'll see you. When will I see you again? Oh, I don't know. Never.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Tomorrow? Oh,
no. I know you. I walked with you once upon.
I do like that animation, though. Like, it's pretty. That's a pretty... The background of that movie is insane.
You know what? So, maybe I've seen so much Sleeping Beauty that's why I hate It's a Small World, because the same artist who inspired the art in Sleeping Beauty was the same girl who did a lot of the work in It's a Small World. Mary, whatever her name is.
Mary Blair.
Yeah, Mary Blair. Yeah.
I didn't realize she did a lot with Sleeping Beauty.
The squares and stuff?
No, that's not her.
She took inspiration from it.
Okay, sure. But that was Irvin whatever.
I don't care. It's all the same style. Call it whoever you want.
Whatever.
I don't like it.
Whatever.
I was going to say a long time ago before we got on this tangent that we have not reviewed on this podcast an animated film where we're both like, whoa, that was awesome. But we haven't seen one where we're like, whoa.
I mean, I think Wild Robot was the last one that we were both like, whoa.
I know, but we wouldn't have the podcast. And that's disappointing. Because
it was like magic in a bottle. Like, ooh.
Yes. And dude, I wish we had the podcast when I saw Inside Out for the first time, because that movie, that's my favorite Pixar movie.
Really?
I love Inside Out. The first one, not the second one. The first one, yeah, Inside Out really gets me. Because at the end, when she's like, after she gets back and everything, that just, oh my God.
Inside Out
breaks my heart.
Was helpful for me, though, in being like, maybe I do have anxiety.
That's hilarious.
It was helpful.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, I'm glad. So
to the point where, I mean, this was like at the tail end of my old job before I got let go, and like things were just spiraling and it was bad. And I literally printed out some stills from the movie of anxiety sitting in the chair and being like, this is good. And like I put it on our fridge.
Oh, yeah.
To be like, I need a chair.
Yeah.
I need to like put my anxiety somewhere.
Yep. No, it's true. It's true.
Ironically, I wasn't seeing my therapist at that point, so I have no idea what movie she would have told me to watch after I told her that I had some anxiety. Like,
oh my God. Anyways, I don't know. That's Hoppers. I liked the message of Hoppers.
yeah. Again, my worldview aligned. I just didn't think it was like a great.
I had a good
story.
time watching Hoppers.
I had an okay time.
I had a good time. Okay. So.
No, normally I feel like you're the one that's a little harsher on the movies, and I'm the one that's like, I just liked being there.
What's up with that? And now I'm taking offense to it. I'm like, how dare you?
And I'm like, I don't know, it's whatever.
Like, ew. No, it's true.
Wowie.
Well, this is the first time we've disagreed in a while.
That's true.
Don't do that to my foot.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I busted my foot the other day, guys. Like,
yeah.
when
he says don't do that to my foot, all I was doing was like, I lifted my foot and it touched his foot. It wasn't anything.
Guys, you got like, so I hit my toe so hard on the bed frame the other day. I think I broke my like ring toe on my right foot.
He broke one bone 2 years ago, and now his feet are just like fucked up.
They've always been fucked up. Let's clarify this right now. If there's anything that I'm self-conscious about, it's my feet.
Yeah, but like they weren't perpetually getting injured. Now it's like every week you're like, oh, I hit my foot. Oh, my foot. I sprained my ankle. Oh, I rolled my ankle. Oh, I can't walk. I'm really worried I broke a bone. And I'm like, this did not happen.
I'm fragile.
Yeah, suddenly.
I'm offended.
That's what we'll title this one.
I'm offended.
And rolling. Matt's offended. AKA Hoppers. Which would be wildly misleading because you liked it more than I did.
Yeah, actually, that's good clickbait. That's really good clickbait. We should do subtitles.
Yeah, we should.
Maybe we should. Maybe we'll start doing that. Maybe this is the movie that inspires us to start doing
Hoppers,
subtitles.
Matt's offended.
What would we do for Ready or Not? Because that's coming out before this.
Well, what's crazy is Ready or Not has a subtitle. It's Ready or Not, Here She Comes.
Really?
Ready or Not 2, Here She Comes. Yeah.
Well, I know 2.
Yeah, Ready or Not 2. Oh, for 2. Oh, you mean the first one.
First one. Yeah. What would we do for Ready or Not? Like for our podcast? You know?
I don't know.
At
the point that they're listening to this, it'll already have come out. So they're going to be like, you idiots, you did this.
I know, that's the funny part. That's the funny part. They're going to be, guys, so like basically the way that I've started treating these podcasts, just so behind the scenes knowledge, just for the fun facts, because I know people like the behind the scenes stuff. And also like, let's be honest, all of our animated movie tangents are like crazy. But,
Don't get me started on Wish. I could go for days. Sorry.
So what I've started doing is this foot's fine.
Girl, I'm not trying to touch you anyway. I'm just trying to stretch my legs.
My wife. I'm not trying to touch you anyways. Thanks, babe.
The most wife thing to ever be said.
So, what was I talking about? Oh, behind the scenes. So behind the scenes facts, everyone. So, what I started doing is we've started watching movies, and then I have some that I edit, and then they're on the back burner. And basically, if there's a movie, like if there's a week where we don't see a movie, I release that. And then that's our movie for the week. And then my goal is that once we get above 10, then the 11th one can start being released on Fridays, basically. So there you go. Fun fact. So if you ever want to support us by listening and want to get to that bi-weekly episodes, share it with your friends and family. Tell everyone about it and force them to listen. Kidnap them, put them in a beaver robot. And then
put them in a beaver?
Yeah, put them in a beaver and then force them to listen to this. And that's how we'll become successful. So I expect a lot from you.
I have to say, I am glad that we've got the ready or nots, because otherwise we'd be going from pillion to hoppers, and that's just
What are you talking about?
That's
too much of a contrast for you?
Yeah, I think we needed the palate cleanser.
Is the only other animated movie that we've seen on this podcast Moana 2? Isn't that a great question?
Yeah.
I think it might be. And Moana 2 was a train wreck.
I think we're going to know by looking at it, but Ryan will just know off the top of his head.
Yeah, Ryan will be like, oh, it was this movie. It was this movie. I know that. It was this one. Because Ryan's just cool like that. So,
We're going to get a text in 3, 2, 1.
It was this movie. I knew before you guys mentioned it. It was this movie. It's all good. How do I look at my episodes on this damn app? Oh, here it is. Billy on the Bride. The Bride. Sorry. I need to say it that way. We've seen remakes of animated movies. We've seen Snow White, How to Train Your Dragon, Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, no, that's the only animated movie.
No, we did a rewind of Howl's.
That's right. We did do a rewind of Howl's, but Howl's is different because it's Japanese.
Also, your capitalization on our episode titles is wonky.
Do you want them to get uploaded or not? Okay. What are you talking about? What's my what am I doing wrong?
So, for Dracula, a love story should also be capitalized, and the same goes for Death of a Unicorn. You didn't capitalize unicorn randomly.
I didn't do that, did I? Oh, man. That's crazy. Eesh.
For The Testament of Anne Lee, we should have put a subtitle, "So no head?" ?
Dude, literally, this might be our new thing, babe.
How to make a killing. Don't make this movie.
We got some good ones lined up. We just need to think of one for Ready or Not and Ready or Not 2.
Marty Supreme is just ping pong.
Ping pong. Marty Supreme.
Ping pong.
Classic.
Marty Supreme.
Anyways, everyone, that's Hoppers. Give us a Dear Maddie. Write in the comments right now. Be like, Dear Maddie, I love beavers. That's it. Do something. I don't care. Write it out, and then we'll talk about it.
I want to know, just by the name Hoppers, what animal were you expecting this to be?
You know what's crazy is I knew about this movie actually a long time ago, because I saw a teaser trailer for it, and I was like, that looks bad.
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean you. I meant the audience. I wanted...
Girl, I know that.
Okay.
I'm expanding on what you're saying.
Didn't seem like you did.
I knew that.
Girl.
Sorry, we're having a back and forth in a conversation, So, but I saw it and I was like, that looks bad. And now it's like one of Pixar's best opening films in a long time.
I also thought it looked bad, and I feel not wrong.
It's not bad.
It's not good
It's
either.
good. It's good. It's not great.
Oh, you know what? I do need to get this off my chest. The main character, Mabel, really irked me because she looks like the human version of the duck from Chicken Little.
What?
Her lips stick out in a way that is beak-like. Bill-like, if you will.
Huh?
When Mabel is a human, she reminds me... Her character design reminds me of the duck from Chicken Little.
No way. I'm looking it up. She's got flat lips, babe.
She does not.
Oh, it does kind of stick out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Her filler is crazy. Filler is so prevalent, it's even hitting the animated community.
What's America coming to? What are we teaching our young women?
Duck.
Yeah, I see it. You know what this reminds me of? Guys, hold on.
What?
Is we were in Epcot one time. And
you and me?
and my family.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't sure. That's why I asked.
Well, yeah, we were there, okay? But we were in Epcot. We were eating in the at France, in the France pavilion. And we had a waiter, and they're all from the country. And it was his first day, and he was like, "It is my first day. I'm the novelist," as French people do. And
that's not how he sounded.
Oh, I want to see you do it. What's your impression then?
He wasn't going, oui, 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 it's my first day.
Is he French or not?
Yes, because every French person starts off going, oui, oui, oui.
No, but the last time when we were in Epcot and we tried to walk around from France to Norway, but then they close it off in the middle of the night. And the French guy stopped us and he goes, "Oh, you cannot go this way. You can, I don't know, go the other way." I was like, dude,
funny. That was very funny.
That's literally verbatim what he said.
What was that guy's name again? Was it
Baptiste?
Baptiste. That's right, Baptiste.
Baptiste.
And he did.
He looked like the food critic from Ratatouille, but not as an old man.
He looked like, and so we're like talking to him, and I'm immediately like, this is the young food critic from Ratatouille. And it's so funny because he's in Epcot in France. And everyone's like very charmed by him. They're like trying to set Matt's cousin up with him, whatever. And halfway through the dinner, I'm like, guys, he looks like the young food critic. And everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're so right."
And then we pulled up a picture, and my mom at first was like, "No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't." Then we pulled up a picture, and she goes, "Oh," like I was like,
if there's one thing I'm good at, it's saying that person looks like this other thing.
You're very good at it.
Yeah.
You're very good at it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyways, that's Hoppers, everyone. This is the 5th time I'm going to end this podcast.
Yeah, okay. They know what to do.
You know what to do. And that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hop around. Bye.
Hop around.